Hey, what's going on, guys? Victor Chambers here, back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. On this channel, I bring you up close and behind the scenes on my journey as a notary loan signing agent and entrepreneur. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload brand new content. So a few weeks ago, I did a poll here in the community tab on my channel asking you guys, my subscribers, what content would you like to see most from my channel? And the overwhelming response was that you guys wanted more training videos. Now, I know there's plenty of free content here on YouTube that provides training, and there's courses, and there's Facebook groups, and there's a lot of different resources. But I just thought I would make a video speaking about specific documents, specific notarizations, specific situations that you guys may encounter either as a notary or a loan signing agent, and just kind of give you my perspective and a little context with my experience based on those specific scenarios or those loan documents. Hopefully it will help you not only build your confidence with these types of documents, but to understand more about the situations I've encountered and how I handle them with regard to certain documents that are often found in loan packages. So the goal is to make a series of videos that will each cover a specific loan signing document, how to notarize it, how to briefly describe it, and some of the feedback and situations I've dealt with signers for those specific documents, how I handle those situations or those rebuttals and different things like that. And hopefully it'll help you build your confidence towards either doing your first signing or doing more signings. So in this specific video, I want to cover a document that I have found signers tend to have a lot of trouble with. That document is called the Signature and Name Affidavit. It's also called the Signature Statement or Signature Certification or Signature Name / AKA Affidavit, AKA Statement, or Affidavit of Common Identity. Those are some of the common names that you'll see for that specific document, but by and large, they're the same. So I'm going to briefly explain the purpose of this document, and this is coming directly from the NNA. The purpose of the Signature and Name Affidavit is a document used to protect the lender and title company from possible fraud by confirming the following. 1, the borrower is signing with his or her correct legal name. 2, the borrower's signatures used in executing loan documents are true and correct. And 3 is that the borrower is one and the same person as any other names documented in credit and title reports or other financial transactions that have been disclosed to the lender and which appear on the affidavit. So those are the 3 reasons why a signature name affidavit or AKA statement are used in loan packages. Now, for the most part, any package where there's a mortgage or deed of trust, there will be a signature and name affidavit or AKA statement. So the next question is, does it require a notarization? And in most cases, it absolutely does. A signature and name affidavit may include wording for either an acknowledgement or a jurat, so you as the notary should check and confirm which notarization is required on that specific document. Not only does this document have different names, as I previously mentioned, but it can also have different formats, and even in some cases, this document may not need to be notarized. But again, it's extremely important to check for certificate wording and then to confirm whether it's actually an acknowledgement or a jurat. Another reason why that's important is because if it's a jurat, you would have to administer an oath or affirmation. Now, administering the oath or affirmation is as easy as asking the borrower, do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the information contained in this document is true to the best of your knowledge? And obviously they should answer you with a yes, but definitely review your state laws and notary guidelines with regard to how exactly you may be expected to administer an oral oath or affirmation. Now, of course, this would not be a training if I didn't actually walk you through an example of some signature name affidavits that you may encounter at a loan signing. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we have here a sample signature name affidavit, and obviously I've redacted the information in this version of the document, but I'll just kind of walk through and point out specific things that you should look for and be mindful of. So again, this is a signature name affidavit. That's one variation of how you'll see this document labeled. You have the date in here that's there. You have the lender, in this case, Pookie and Ray Ray Mortgage Company. You have the borrower, James Johnson, which is, of course, the name that you should see throughout the package. I've redacted loan numbers and things like that. And we'll just read through this. It says, I, the undersigned borrower, state that I am one and the same person named in the note and security instrument. I also swear and affirm that the signature below is my true and exact signature for execution of the loan documentation. Now, remember I said that one of the things you want to look for is whether it's a acknowledgement or an oath. Now, down in this section, this notary block here, it doesn't say swear or sworn, but it does say swear up here. And so, based on that, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I typically take this as a jurat because the person is actually is swearing by signing, and then obviously you giving the oath. But again, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Nine times out of 10 with signature name affidavits, they're going to be jurats, at least in my experience. But people may have other experiences. So below signature is true and exact signature for execution of the loan documents. And it says, I certify that James E. Johnson and James Edward Johnson is one and the same person as obviously James Johnson, the name that's printed here. So typically what the person would do is they would sign, obviously review the names to make sure that those are actual names. If those names aren't valid, what I typically have signers do is cross it out and initial it. In this version, there's not a space to write not known as or never known as. So I just have them cross it out and initial it if they don't recognize it as their name. And then down here below, they would sign in this space here. And then obviously date with today's date. And then we step down into the notary block here, state of New Jersey, county of Camden. On this X day, if this is, let's just say April 1st, on this first day of April 2021, before me, the undersigned notary, notary public in and for said state, personally appear, James Johnson. So you have his name again there. Known to me or proved to me on the basis of satisfactory evidence to be the person whose name is subscribed to within the instrument and acknowledged to me that he or she executed the same in his or her authorized capacity. Now, this kind of looks like an acknowledgement block because it says acknowledged and it doesn't say swear, but it because they're actually swearing by signing, I think it's not inappropriate to still administer the oath. And again, like I said, most signature name affidavits do have a jurat as the notary certificate, and so I think it's probably still safe to administer the oath just to be sure, because you obviously don't want to under notarize the actual document. And then you, as the notary, would sign here, put your commission expiration date there, and then you would stamp. You could stamp here. That should be fine, or if you want to stamp here, either one should be fine. Obviously, follow your state laws when you're stamping and signing things, because you want to be compliant. I'm just kind of walking you through how I handle these specific situations. Now, if we go to another version of the signature name affidavit. This one is called the signature affidavit and AKA statement or signature affidavit. These are all pretty much the same thing. Again, James Johnson, this is a document that I've redacted so it doesn't show or give away any private or personal information. But you see this again, I, James Johnson, certify that this is my true and correct signature. You see James Johnson's name printed there, and he would sign here as he has been signing his name throughout the loan signing. And then you get down into the AKA statement, where again you have I, James Johnson, further certify that I am also known as. So this is the AKA part of the document. And what you have here is variations of James Johnson's name. And these are variations of the name that the lender might have discovered in credit reports or title reports or just different documents or financial transactions when the lender was doing their due diligence on James Johnson as the buyer. Now, again, follow the instructions of your notary laws and of the title company or the escrow company when doing this. And there's some variations in what people may tell you to do. I'll walk you through what I do, or typically the instructions I'm given to follow. First, I explain this to the borrower. This is the signature affidavit and AKA statement. The lender lists variations of your name here that they discovered in credit reports and title reports and things of that nature. That's pretty much what I'd say. The purpose of this document is for you to affirm whether these are actual true variations of your name and to provide signature variations for these versions of your name. Now, they've already signed up here the way they've been signing throughout the loan package. This is where it gets tricky because there's variations. And what I sometimes encounter, well, kind of quite often encounter from signers is they'll go through and they'll say, yeah, these are all my name. And I say, okay, well, you have to provide a sample signature variation here. And they'll say, well, this is how I sign right here. So, I can't make up another signature. And I'll just simply tell them, look, uh, the lender, the title company asks you to provide a variation based on how your name is written here. So if your last name is written first, then you would sign your last name, comma, your first name, or however it's written here. But the signature on the right should match how the name is written on the left. You're providing a signature variation. And sometimes they'll comply and they'll do it. I know it messes with people's muscle memory to sign differently. Some people will say, well, I just don't sign that way. And they'll just sign how they sign. I've had that happen a few times before. I've never had a lender or title company come back to me and say they had an issue with it, but obviously you can give them the instructions, you can tell them what to do, but at the end of the day, so they may, write a scribble there that they say is a variation. They may do what they want to do. Your job is to give them the correct instructions so that they at least know what they should be doing. All right. So they're providing sample signatures here, or in variations of their signatures based on their names. If they don't recognize one of these names, let's say, for example, he doesn't recognize James Johnson or James, comma, Johnson, because James is written here like it's his last name and Johnson like it's his first name. Well, what I typically would tell signers to do, like we did before, cross it out, initial it, and either here or over here, somewhere they can write not known as or never known as. Some title companies and escrow officers are very specific with what they want to see. Some say write never known as, some say write not known as. I just typically follow the instructions on that, but that's pretty much how I've done it, and I've never had issues. So this is page one of this example of the signature affidavit and AKA statement. If we go to the second page of this, this is where your notary certificate is for this specific document. So again, you see here New Jersey, which is the state. I've seen it where some title companies or escrow companies or lenders will leave the county blank or even the state blank or even have it incorrect. In this case, the title company or the lender left it blank, so you would just write it in. I'll just write in what was there before. It was Camden, just like in the other version we did. Write in the county. If the county is wrong, then you would line through it, initial it, and write the correct county. Or if the state is wrong, same thing, line through it, initial it, and write the correct state. And then you get down into the actual jurat language here, which is subscribed and sworn. You see that word sworn, so then you know it's a jurat. All right. This is the date here that you're going to write in by James Johnson. All right. That's the name of the person. Most of the time, the name should be written there. If it's not, then obviously you have to write in the name as it's indicated in the document there. But James Johnson, and then come down and you would sign here, date there. This requires for you to print your name, or it says printed or type stamp name if it's not in your seal. I always just write it in just to be complete, although it is in my stamp. And then I always write in my commission expiry date, although it is in my stamp, just to be complete. And then, you put your stamp here, you can put your stamp here, put your stamp here. I usually put it in this area, but obviously, again, follow your state guidelines and your state notary laws with specifically how and where you need to stamp and things of that nature. I'm just explaining to you what I normally do. And again, I've not had any issues with that per se. So I hope this was helpful and useful to you, walking you through the specific document. Look, if I've said anything that maybe you know something different, or you have another training that's taught you something different, I'm happy to hear your feedback below. But again, I'm just walking you through the document and explaining it, how I position it with signers, how I overcome their objections around the signature. And I've never had any issues, and I'm at nearly 200 signings now doing this. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope it was useful. Again, comment down below any feedback or questions you have. I'm happy to hear. Even from maybe some of you more seasoned notary loan signing agents that have dealt with some of these situations. Happy to hear, again, any feedback you have regarding how to handle this specific document. Again, hope you found this video useful and informative. There's more like this coming. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload brand new content. And until next time, peace.